There's a lot of talk going around that you need to be aggressive to have male behavior, but I don't see it that way. You can actually be tough as nails and still be kind. They're almost always connected. Because when you know your own power, when you know that you're not a pushover, you can afford to treat others with respect and kindness, and you're never gonna have a negative effect from it, right? Sure, a lot of people, they don't respect that kind of behavior, but this is where you get to pick the closest people, right? Because if someone thinks that you being kind is the real problem in the relationship, maybe they're not supposed to be in your closest circle, right? I mean, backstabs and whatnot, because aggressive people, um, some of them are actually hiding their insecurities behind aggression. I mean, it's a well-known street fighting tactic, right? Sorry about that. Tactic. It's a well-known street fighting tactic. If you are overly aggressive, you might scare people off, right? But if you are tough as nails, you know that you stand your ground, right? You don't have to behave in an aggressive manner. It is a waste of time and energy, and in all honesty, it's gonna trigger a defense mechanism in the person you're talking to. So if you're gonna, for an example, try to get to a point where you have a meaningful relationship, privately or in business, having a person on their defensive side is going to minimize the chances of you actually getting anywhere. Sure, I mean, you can probably find people that enjoy being in an aggressive surrounding, right? That enjoy the aggressive environments, and it gives them grit and pep and drive and whatever you want to call it. Fine. But it's up to them. You can actually choose. That's what I'm saying. You do not have to walk this path to have strength. You don't. I think that a leader who actually promotes other people's skill sets and their personalities, and encourages to treat each other with respect, you're gonna get a healthier work or business environment, or a private environment for that matter. I mean, you can still stand your ground. You can have your solid boundaries. You can put them up, and the ones who are okay with your boundaries, they're gonna stick around. Those are your people. And the best ones actually allow you to switch your boundaries, to adjust them, to evolve, to grow into someone you didn't used to be when you met them, right? And they are scarce People like that are scarce. They do not come around too often. So if you happen to find a person like that, I suggest you don't scare them off by being aggressive, because they're not gonna stand for it. They're gonna look at you and, you know, all right, so that's where you wanna live. You wanna have this ding dong swinging kind of mentality, going through everything instead of, working together and promoting each other and lifting each other. And so I guess it all comes down to your personal preferences. That is what I'm saying. It's okay to be any way you want, but what I'm saying is that you don't have to steamroll other people to get where you're going. Because if you choose the other way, you will get there regardless. Just as long as you keep your aim, fix a little every day, and as you go, you will attract the ones that actually like this way of working. It's as simple as that. And now I know this comes from the general idea that cowards are not trustworthy. And I buy into that, because a coward will sell you out as soon as they feel that they have something to gain from it. And that can be anything. I mean, anything. So you're not supposed to be scared of strong people. The cowards are way, way worse, because they will backstab you just for, for an advancement, for anything. So I'm not talking down on the aggressive behavior. What I'm saying is that you don't have to go about it exactly like that. You can choose to be assertive, you can choose to be kind, you can choose to be direct, you can choose to actually back off when you realize you might be wrong. And that is way easier doing if you're not coming across as this bully, right? And if you walk in with the mentality of being an aggressive person, you have lesser options when it comes to adjusting. Because how are you going to maintain that facade or that behavior if you all of a sudden start admitting that you might have been wrong, right? I mean, it happens. You can be wrong. I can be wrong. Of course I can. And I try to learn from it every time. I see every experience in life as a chance of learning something. And at times it can be hard. I know that. I know it can be really, really hard to see why this can be an actual learning experience. But if you let it, you will soften the blow. You will actually lessen the risk of breaking yourself. Because that way, all right, that was not a good solution. I need to adjust. What do I do to adjust? How do I do this? You become more fluid. You become more solution oriented and not as rigid. And being rigid, it doesn't work in a complex world. It doesn't. You need to be on your toes. You need to be able to shift and change as you go. You need to be able to adapt. I mean, it was viable when the world was complicated, not complex. Complicated was when certain things came in a certain order, and one thing led to another, and the outcome was easily predicted. But now that the world has become complex and it all shifts too fast to follow a pattern, it shifts all too fast to actually have a complete battle plan until the fight is won, right? That is not how it works anymore. This is not Gettysburg, you know, or whatever you guys want to connect the dots with. I mean, you know, it's not the Civil War where you could actually draw lines on a map and predict what's gonna happen. You know, like you don't just walk into death anymore. People are more enlightened than that. Back at it. Just had some dinner and super full. I'll try to make it not too sleepy, but you know, sometimes it just is what it is, you know. Well, I wanted to talk to you about accountability. There's a popular belief that you have to spill everything to anyone in order to prove that you're taking accountability for something you've done before, or something that happened previously in your life, or whatever, you know. And it's actually possible to take accountability without handing it as an ammunition, if you will, to someone who has got malicious intent towards you, right? So taking accountability can actually be done in silence. It is not between you and the rest of the world. There are different ways of taking accountability, of course, but I mean, you don't have to put it out there for people to weaponize it against you. That is what I'm saying.